friends. Today we're going to review place value a little bit, and this is going to help you with some of your math worksheets this week. So we know that every number is made up of one of these digits. So digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And every number that we use in math is made up of these digits. So when I say a 2-digit number, that means I have two of these digits put together to make a number. So the number 25 is the digit 2 and the digit 5 put together to make the number 25. And place value helps us understand what those numbers represent. So let's look at an example. Let's say I have the number 132. 132 is a 3-digit number. It's made up of 3 digits. But we know that in this number, there's a 1 in the hundreds place, a 3 in the tens place, and a 2 in the ones place. And we know that we have to think about what does that number in the tens place represent? Oh, we know that a 3 in the tens place represents 3 groups of 10. Remember in class when we would take the popsicle sticks and count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then put a rubber band around them and say that's one group of 10. That's what place value helps us understand as mathematicians. I can actually draw a picture to help me, and we've talked about that a little bit in some of our other math videos, is that we can draw a picture to represent this number. And in this picture, we use a square for the hundred, so that shows one group of 100. We use these sticks or lines to show the groups of 10, so we can count 10, 20, 30. And we use these single dots to show the ones, 1, 2. So I can see this as 132. So all of these are just different ways to think about this number 132. That's going to help you when you're working on some of your math pages this week. So let's go ahead and look at one of those pages now. Okay, friends, here is one of the pages in your math packet this week. This is page 123, and this page is titled Numbers from 900 to 1,000. Now, you might be thinking, 1,000, Mrs. Burrows, but remember, we all counted and saw the number 1,000 when we put together those red and blue chain links in math class. So we know we can do this, my friends. Okay, it says, fill in the missing numbers on the grid below. Use the patterns you know to help. Now, if we were together, I would say, hey, what do you notice about this? So maybe let's just take a moment to stop and think, what do we notice about this? You know, I can almost hear some friends telling me, oh, Mrs. Burrows, I notice that, there's numbers going across, there's numbers in the columns. And I might even have one friend that thought, this kind of reminds me of a hundreds chart. You know, those charts we use or we've used before to help us. This is just like a 100s chart or 100 chart. There's 10 numbers across in the row and 10 numbers going down the column. But instead of starting at 1 and counting on, they started at 901 and counted all the way up to 1,000. So they want you to use the patterns that you know to help. One pattern that we are all really familiar with is counting by ones. So going 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of starting at 1, we were going to start at 901 and count on 902. And so on. But you can also use the patterns that you know going down the column, thinking about when we do move down, what are we adding? Are we adding just 1 or are we adding 10? So you could use a different pattern that you know to help you as well. And there's one thing I always like to remind my mathematicians, that they've given you a lot of the numbers in this grid. you're filling in the blanks. So if you get to a number and then all of a sudden the next number there doesn't make sense, we might have made a mistake and we might need to go back and correct that mistake. Down below it says describe at least 3 different patterns you see on the grid. So think about when we've done choral counts together and we share out, what do we notice? You all are so wonderful at finding patterns and sharing those patterns. I know that you will be able to describe at least 3 different patterns that you see. What do you notice that's happening with the numbers on this grid? Now, at the top it says turn in. Your teachers would like to see the awesome work you're doing. So look on your schedule that came in your packet, and each of you will have directions for how to turn this into your teacher, either by email, texting a picture, or posting something on our classroom, our Google Classroom. We cannot wait to see the fantastic math work you're doing, friends. See you later.